In this video we start off by one of our morning walks across the top of the moor in the ice and snow. Then we get the camper van out and we head down to Farndale, where
we go for lunch at the Feversham Arms in Farndale, see Rachel, and then we do the walk that would normally be the Daffodil Walk if it was spring, but it's still stunning even in winter in December.
We also answer some of your questions, and we take you on this lovely walk by the River Dove down in Farndale. Hope you enjoy the video. That American Werewolf in London weather again. The weather's always different up here, always changing. And the slightly warmer temperature down in the Dale is keeping the fog, the cloud, up on top of the moor. If we was to walk up on top of the moor, it would just be thick fog. But that different temperature just down in the Dale is just lifting the fog up. And you guarantee you'll come back in half an hour's time and be different again. It's one of those real calm days. There's no wind this morning. Give it up. A bit higher up now, near the top of the moor. Still on the edge of the Dale though. And the fog and mist is just coming in over there. Hey, what are you doing? You eating sheep poo? Oh no, rabbit poo. Just for a change here, Rose. Professional trained pub dogs. Good pub, isn't it?
Yeah. Dog
friendly. And even the wildlife stays in here through winter. Thingstons. And what have you had, Joe?
I've had a hot chocolate with Baileys.
Ooh.
It was really nice. Very warming.
And where are we?
We're at the Feversham Arms in Farndale.
Hey, well done. Even after your Baileys, you still know where you are.
Yeah.
Probably time for another one.
Yeah, why not?
Are we having a chip test today?
Yeah, chips are coming.
There we go. Ooh. So the Rosie looking interested. Oh, another Louie showing interest.
Can you see that?
What's the chips like then, Joe?
I haven't tried them yet.
Go on then. Crack on, girl. Do you remember what to do? It's been a while.
It's been a while. Seven.
7. Okay. And if you haven't watched this before, that's quite a good score for Joe. So what you got?
I've got garlic mushrooms.
And I got a mountainous scampi.
Mm.
Time for a chip test with the Whippets. Now Rosie will eat anything. Look at that. She'd give it a 10 out of 10 every time. How about you, Louie? Louie?
Oh.
Oh, yeah. No.
No.
Until
I thought it was a bit odd.
Until Rosie comes along, and then he'll devour it. Did you like that, Rose? Ooh.
My favourite.
What is it?
Apple and blackcurrant crumble with custard.
And it's none for a Whippet. Done that once. Fast asleep. So you've got a bit more training, Rosie. Professional, amateur. We're in Farndale, and that's the Feversham Arms, where we just had lunch, as you've just seen. And it's one of our favourite pubs. But there's a special thing about this pub. Down this road, about 50 yards, on the left hand side there's a field. And you can camp in there, put your camper van in, and the cost of it is £1 to lager per person per night. and you put it behind the bar in the pub, which I think is a great situation. Dog friendly pub, great food, and you can bring your camper van and stay in the field 50 yards up. It's a great setup though, because it encourages more people to come. The village is called Church Houses and it's in Farndale. So that's the field. There's a sign there. Camping, please ask at the pub. There's obviously no facilities, but if there's enough of you, Rachel will even open the pub in the morning and do breakfast for you. Just a little way down from Rachel's is this place. And this next to the old mill is Daffodil Cafe. And it's called Daffodil Cafe because there's a famous walk around here called the Daffodil Walk. That's where the cafe is. And down here past the old mill takes you down to the side of the River Dove. And there's, as I say, a very famous walk. And around March time, when the daffodils are out, for about a month, 6 weeks, you'll get about 40 to 50,000 visitors that come here from all over the world to walk the famous Daffodil Walk. But if you come here to begin December, you have it to yourself, but no daffodils. You alright there, carrying your poo? She is a poo picker. There's plenty of things for your whippet to sniff. That's the lovely River Dove. There's plenty of water in it today and it's quite clear. Now you can fish that river. You have to buy a day pass. I don't know how much they are nowadays. But if you go to the Feversham Arms and see Rachel, she can sort out the fishing for you. I forgot to say, she also does accommodation there as well. So if you're not in a camper van and you want to stay over, you can stay in their accommodation on site. They have rooms upstairs of the pub and they also have a separate little cottage they rent out. And I think there's a few other rentals in the village as well. I've obviously smelt something. Oi! Come on then, let's go. When we do these Whippet videos, it's always good to answer questions. So we get lots of questions and many of them are the same. So the clothes they're wearing, the jackets, they're both from an organisation, a business called Togs. And they're really comfy, really warm, and they fit perfect on both Louie and Rosie. They fit absolutely perfect. They're made by the people who made them, have whippets themselves. What are you doing, Rosie? Come on. And they also made those snoods. And if you haven't seen the video, there's a video all about the harnesses. Those harnesses are Ruffwear Webmaster harnesses. And depending on the size of your whippet, just excuse it while Rosie has a wee, you'll either need a small or an extra small. So Rosie's in an extra small and Louie's in a small. The lead is a very cheap one off Amazon. I think the joining lead at the bottom was about £10 and the actual lead itself was about the same. Oi, come on. There is another question we've been asked quite a few times and I've been holding off to give an answer really. And it's, should I get a male whippet or a female whippet? What do you reckon?
They're both different, but Rosie is amazing.
I suppose it's difficult to say because every dog's different. And even between Louie and Rosie, we got Louie when he was about 1.5, about the same age that Rosie is now. They both have lots of characteristics that are the same, but I suppose like people, every dog's different. But Louie had a bit of an interesting beginning. Look at him looking at the tree, looking for squirrels. So Louie had 4 houses before he come to us. I don't think he was mistreating, I think he was just rehomed. But that must have affected him. But he's been a lovely dog. He's been easy to train, he's very loyal. He obviously doesn't like squirrels. But he is a bit of a loner, would you say?
Yeah.
He likes to keep by himself, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's happy to be by himself. Yeah. He loves his routine. And Rosie's completely different, isn't she?
Yeah.
Rosie is very funny indeed. She loves to cuddle up with people. She likes the pack to be together, and she's a very affectionate dog. She knows Louie's the boss, and she watches Louie and learns from Louie all the way through. She's been very easy to train. She loves her food, and her recall's really good. So it's difficult, isn't it? Because we know other male and female whippets that are completely different to these two.
I think it's really difficult to say one or the other, really, because whippets are just amazing dogs, and like I say, they're all different anyway.
And these two are completely different. And I suppose Ben, our first whippet, was a bit like Louie, but different again. He would stay with us. He wouldn't particularly run off anywhere. He liked dogs to chase him. That was Ben's thing. And Louis doesn't like that at all, really. Rosie likes to chase dogs. So I suppose they all have the same characteristics of the breed. But as I say, they're all different in their own way. But we're really happy with both of these. And they get on so well together. They cuddle up together. And I think they look out for each other as well.
Oh, definitely.
You can see if they've been apart. If I've taken one of them somewhere and not the other one, and they come together, they're pleased to see each other. They like to have the pack together. In the description of this video, I'll put the links down to this walk, where it is, and I think there's a website all about it because it's that popular. I'll put a link down to the pub, and these snap tog jackets, snoods and Ruffwear harnesses as well. In spring, the banks of this river are just full of daffodils. That's why they call it, obviously, the Daffodil Walk. And there's literally millions of them, millions and millions of daffodils all the way down here. And it follows round, goes to another little village, and then up past the church and past the pub. But today we've been down here, we haven't seen one other person. But if you're down here in March time, springtime, when the daffodils out,
lots of people.
It's like a high street in London, isn't it?
Beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Beautiful now though as well.
Yeah, it's nice to have it to yourself. We have a field full of Swaledales. And they're all being taken off the moor now into these lower pastures. And they'll all been with a ram, or with a tup as they call it. So they all should be pregnant soon, if not now. And in about 4 months' time, springtime, it will be lambing. These two are interested, look. They're not too bad with sheep though, because I spend so much time around them. And the farm up near where we live have asked me to help out with lambing again in March, April time. So I'll probably do a video about that this year. Rosie's just spotted a male pheasant running across there. The other part of Farndale is the Farndale estate, and a big part of the Farndale estate is for shooting pheasants and grouse, and that's a managed site. So they take people onto the moorlands, and a group of beaters will chase the birds out, and they'll be shot by people who pay a lot of money for them. So the farmer knows which sheep's been with a ram. If you see, they'll have marks on the back. So the ram, you can't find him in here, but the ram will wear a harness with a coloured block on it, and as it climbs on back of the sheep it leaves a mark. So the farmer can go around and see which ram's been with each sheep. And he can put a different coloured mark on each ram, so he knows which one's performing better. Another field full of sheep, with lots of yellow and orange bottoms. Living up here now for more than a year, we've seen all the seasons, and you really get to notice the seasons and the change in the weather, and it's lovely. It must be strange to live somewhere where the weather's almost constant all the year round, but you definitely see it around here. And you can see the difference between the lowlands in the dales and what happens up on the moors. So down here there's no snow at all. It's lovely, it's reasonably warm and it's out the wind. But on top of the moor today, there was still lots of ice and still quite a bit of snow. It's a lovely old tree. Look at that old, gnarly, ancient... Oh, sorry, the tree.
Ho, ho, ho.
What do you reckon, Whippets? You enjoying your day out? I hope you enjoyed the video, but let us know in the comments if you'd like to see more of these. Walks around the North York Moors with Whippets, and our favourite pubs. You're tired, you two? What's going on? Rosie? Rosie? What are you doing? Does that taste nice? Are you enjoying that thing? Are you warm enough there, Rosie? Rosie? Are you warm enough?